Once we have everybody back here, we'll. All right, let the record show the committee has moved to reconvene in open session. We do have an action item from the closed session. Does someone want to make a motion within the committee? Go ahead, Sarah.
I would move to accept the payment request and limited easement or permanent limited easement for the 72nd Avenue multi-use trail project for 7500 Stewart Avenue and 720 South 72nd Avenue.
Okay, is there a second to the motion? Second by Martins. Discussion? Seeing none, members in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None are opposed. This item is actually on the council agenda for action tonight as well. So that will move that forward. We have about 18 minutes, and so I talked with Marianne about her presentation. She's going to start it and do one section. She's going to go through the general fund results for 2021, and then we'll hold the rest of her report and finish it at the next finance meeting because it's kind of segmented, so she can at least get us started. If you want to go ahead, Marianne, and.
Sure. There. Okay. So, darn it. We've concluded our work for 2021, and actually our auditors are working on the year-end audit. So our audit is a financial audit and a compliance audit. So they're looking, because we receive federal and state dollars, they have to perform procedures and give an opinion on our management of those dollars, as well as the financial statements themselves. So they typically will be done either this week or early next week, and then you authorized that they could write the financial statements this year because we were so involved in the ERP implementation. Usually we write the financial statements ourselves. So when those statements are done, then they come back and give a presentation, a higher level presentation. And I wanted to, we do this financial results report each year, but I think it's important, prior to the budget, because it serves as kind of a precursory to the budget work. And it's just a great reminder of, what's going on with the city financially. So I will start. So the general fund is where most of our services are provided to the departments. That includes all of our administration, our police and fire, our refuse, our transportation, and parks and recreation. So this is really most of the focus when we're working on budget work. We had another good year. Our results for 2021 are $1,011,000 as far as profits. So you can see from 2009 to 2014, we had about a net loss of $166,000. But since that time, we've had steady gains. So those gains through that period are about a $6.2 million gain. So we've been able to build our reserves during that time period, and we've also allocated funds and done additional one-time projects with those dollars. So when we look at our fund balance, again, just the results. So our fund balance is our reserve. That's what we have as a rainy day fund to protect us for problems that we encounter, budgetary problems or unexpected issues, as well as it provides us with cash reserves for time periods where we have low money coming in. So if you look in 2009, our reserve was at $6 million, and at the end of 2021, we will be at $15.6 million. We have a fund balance policy that says that our unassigned fund balance should be no less than 16.67% of expenditures, so about $6.4 million. Now, when you look at our fund balance of $15.6 million, it's not the government accounting practices have us classify that as non-spendable, committed, and unassigned. So our non-spendable is because there are receivables on the book that are long-term. So they will not, that cash will not be coming in the next year. And the most significant portion of that is advances that we have provided to some of our tax increment districts that are in their initial phases, so they're in the deficit situation, and those deficits will be recovered over time. So that's considered non-spendable, and we have inventory on the books at the end of the year, and that is not readily turned into cash, so accounting practices say we have to consider that non-spendable. So that's about $374,000. Then we have committed funds for the next budget year, and so those aren't readily available for general uses because we've already said we're going to use them for something else. So our contingency is $194,000. We have committed $500,000 to the commercial rehabilitation fund, and then through your resolution actions, the Finance Committee and the Common Council have said, we're going to take some of the money that was left over in that 2021 budget, and we're going to use it in 2022, and that totals $203,000. So when we look at what are unassigned, that kind of true what's left over, we're at $11,426,000, and like I said, our fund balance policy says we should have no less than 6.4. So our undesignated, or our uncommitted, undesignated is an old term, our uncommitted is, or unassigned is the 11.4. And then just kind of looking at our contingency over time, you can see at one point we had a $500,000 contingency that hovered at the $163,000, went up to $193,000, and that was untapped in 2021. So it remains the same. And, you know, I know we've had discussions about, well, what is that contingency balance? What should it be? We don't have a policy of what our contingency balance should be. Obviously, when we have an unassigned fund balance of 11 million, your contingency is a lot less important because we have a good reserve available to us. Again, we kind of talked about that unavailable a portion of our fund balance being related to advances to our tax increment districts. So I wanted to kind of take a step back and kind of look at what those advances have been over time. You can see at 2014, we were at just about 3.9 million. It's been hovering at that through 2017. In 2018, it dropped to the 3.1, 2019, 2.9, and so on. And so we did see a step down from our heaviest utilization of that. And you can also see that some improvements in the conditions of some of the districts by the reduction of that advance. So if we look at 2014, for example, TID7 was using 1.7 million. That district is getting ready to close, so you would expect that that financial condition would improve. And you can see quite clearly that that is occurring because in 2020, it's $859,000, and then in 2021, it's no longer receiving an advance from the general fund. So that's exactly how it's supposed to work. And then TID 3 was receiving an advance of 1.4 million, and you can again see that there's improvement in that area too. TID 9 is Bull Falls. That district is a very small district, so you can see that, you know, the dollar amounts have never been large, and we can go through this later too, but, oh, maybe we should quit after this slide, okay?
Okay, sure.
But just to give you an idea, and TID 12 is new, so you can see that they now are requiring an advance from the city. So we'll stop there. You can keep your handouts and kind of peruse them and kind of help you think of questions too, and we'll cover the rest at the next meeting.
Okay, yep,
Thanks.
so we'll have this item on the agenda again for the 24th, and then she can take a little deeper dive into some of those other areas as well. So with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Martin, second by Watson. Members in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? No one ever is. We'll stand adjourned, and then Common Council will start in 5 minutes. Thanks, everyone.